they want us to put all this stuff on us all the time. Like our whole daily routine, if you're living like an average person, is a toxic soup. You're putting on, think about it, like you're waking up in the morning, you're going into the shower, you're putting in all these chemicals on your body, getting
Yep.
out of the shower, shaving, right? More chemical. Well, if you're shaving, I mean, women too, right? Shaving legs, more chemicals, and then your deodorant, all these different things. Like you're doing all these things to mask your natural odor, which is messed up to begin with. But this is, you can say it's part of civilization, whatever else. But we are already putting a huge amount of chemicals on us every day. And then, yeah, you think about it, hairspray, gel, skin cream, lipstick, makeup, all these different things, deodorants. And then you're eating all the foods with all the chemicals in them. And then we're going to have things like 5G and everything else. So we are already kind of walking around with like massive amounts of chemicals all over our bodies. And what happens to those chemicals? Well, your skin absorbs them, right?
Yep.
That's the
What goes on
easiest.
goes in.
Yeah. So like that's one reason I never ever use sunblock. I don't trust it at all. I'm like, I think the sun's good for you, although, you don't want to get burned, but you,
Wear a
you try,
hat.
yeah, wear a hat and limit your time in the sun. But like
Get
if if
sun too.
if you do get sun, your skin tans, nicely, and then it works as a shield sort of thing. But like that, they want you to believe that if you're out in the sun, you're gonna get skin cancer, right? And then you're depriving yourself of and then all the nutrients that you get from the sun as well. So, and then you're what are you trying to do? You're putting all these chemicals on that are ostensibly to block the dangerous sort of radiation of the sun, but is it really? I mean, has it really happened? Are people really getting cancer from the sun, or could it be they're getting cancer from all the chemicals that they're putting on their skin? Me, with my skeptical brain, I look at it and I say, no, I'm not putting any of that toxic crap on me ever. And that's just the way I look at it. So I think that you look at all, and that's the one thing that we do with looking into all the foods is like, look at all the chemicals that they're putting into our foods, ostensibly to prolong the shelf life and make them more colorful or whatever. But really, could there be other things in there? And then if you're looking at nanoparticles, how would you know? I mean, how would the FDA know, right? Like, even if they were doing their job, would they be able to test for nanoparticles? Would they be able
Yeah.
to find them?
Do you want to? Can we veer?
Yeah, yeah,
Stay on
absolutely.
food, stay or go to a little bit of food and stay on tiny things. I don't know if it's necessarily nano. There's a link coming at you right now that it's from a presentation that was done January 2019 JP Morgan conference, but particles for humanity. Doesn't that make you feel good? Doesn't that feel great? This is funded
JP
by Bill
Morgan.
and Melinda Gates, of
Oh,
course.
wonderful.
Yeah, and this I'm going to make a video about this. I have other links too. It's so big on the food aid, because this is one of the particles for humanity is them doing
Did you
micro
notice what they've done up here?
which
They're showing migrants
oh
with a certificate of vaccination, I think.
yeah, because that certificate, no, that vaccination, their solution is they want to do on patient medical record embedding vaccination information into the skin with invisible data only readable by custom low cost mobile technologies.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
yeah, they want to, you can scan you. Yeah, you got your shots, you can come through. And that you don't,
Wow.
another one of their things here is you don't need the boosters because they'll be all many layers of encapsulation to release boosters and pulses at the right time. But the fortified food, don't, if you see food that says enriched,
Yeah.
you should not buy that. I mean, I've avoided that for years, and now I'm like, oh, thank goodness, because Bill Gates is pushing this whole there's so much on this, but he's pushing this. We got to fortify all the foods so that these poor little babies in Africa are not going to be malnourished. But then, like, one of the things, another one, if I have it right here easy, I'm not sure, but another one of the things that he's working on and funding is the double, triple, and quadruple fortified salt to be able to have loads of their maybe vitamins you can't even do anything with put into the salt. But then I was just looking at this a little bit, and I was talking with someone who has written a book on the subject, and I ordered the book, but I haven't read it yet. But they're saying that the kind of iodine that is used in the iodized salt, that it actually makes you become deficient in iodine. And one of the things that is happens because you're deficient in iodine, they say, is that you have fertility problems. Who would have thought Bill would be involved in something like that? I was shocked. And they're giving it like, India's like, we do not care about you. And there's a big trial running for giving the quadruple fortified, I think, salt to pregnancy or reproductive age women, like specifically reproductive age women.
That's why I buy sea salt.
Yeah, but I mean, we don't know where any of this comes from.
I know.
We don't. And then that same person told me they heard in Costa Rica they put fluoride in their salt. So who knows? It's just so crazy. But yeah, the countries that, like in India, the trials, tens of thousands of school children that they feed these fortified foods, and it just, it's disgusting.
Look at this vaccination tracking system for high coverage.
Yep.
And look what they show. Single injection vaccines for full immunization. Food fortification technology to stabilize essential nutrients. Of course, they always try to sell it to you like it's going to save you.
Oh yeah, because they're like, oh, if we cook the food, or that we send these fortified foods off, and then they cook them, and all the goodies are lost. But they've got this special coating that I think it was a pH thing, so it's not going to break down until it's inside of you. Is what they were saying. One of the people, if you scroll down there, her face shows up, because there's this other. I'll link you to another article that has this poor little baby right on the front, but that video on that article, they talk about this whole how they encapsulate sort of thing to save the world, save all these poor people, save them, right?
Yeah, I want to say they're telling us that the biggest problem on Earth is there's too many people.
Yeah, we're gonna save them.
Yeah, we gotta save everyone. I mean, it's insanity, of course. Right?
Save them from breeding.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they got to save the women in Africa because they don't have smartphones.
Yep.
And the smartphones are preventing them from searching the internet safely. So if we can get them the smartphones, then maybe we can get them to not have babies and to go into, go to get cultural Marxist degrees in the universities. So they get saddled with debt.
Yep.
And then they become angry feminists.
But then they can move into that Wakanda one. They can
Wakanda.
They can move in and get their little narrow nanobots and be happy, part of the hive.